tater tot, hot sauce and tater tots. God, 2017, 2018, how hard is that? Tater tots. Hot sauce on my eye. Welcome everybody. This is Authenticated. Last year I started a YouTube channel and had some big aspirations as far as what I wanted to do with it. Life happens. I'm sure we're all familiar with that. But a lot of things changed. My wife at the time, Rachel, she was pregnant, and I wasn't able to take the channel where I wanted it to. The set was in my dining room, and there was just a lot of crazy things going on at the time. Wasn't able to dedicate myself to the channel and to what I wanted to really focus on, which was bringing you guys a unbiased and about as laid-back approach to college football talk that there is out there. There's a lot of things that I love about college football that sometimes when I watch different commentary and different shows that I don't really get out of it. So for me, I wanted to start a channel that I wanted to watch. So whenever I turned on, my computer or got on my phone and got on Facebook or wanted to watch some updates on a team that I was following, and being an Ohio State fan, sometimes it's easier for me to find content than people that, let's say, are Baylor fans or maybe Kansas State fans or Washington State fans. Go Cougars. I mean, there's a lot of different teams out there that don't get the recognition, don't get the coverage. So my goal with this channel is to be able to bring you guys content on teams that are all in the top 25. So basically, the premise of the show is I'm gonna have 2 episodes a week. Those are going to be every week consistent. So those are going to be on Wednesdays and there's going to be on Sundays. So every Wednesday, the episode to expect is going to be a top 25 breakdown. So basically what I'll be doing with that top 25 breakdown is going through all the games that are ranked. So going all the way from team number 1 all the way to team 25 and their matchup, how I feel about it, what my predicted score I think will be, and being able to touch on every game for that week. Sundays I'm going to do a recap, so everything that happened throughout the week, big games, surprises, upsets, wrong picks, all the stuff that I brought to you guys on Wednesday I'm going to be covering on Sundays. So you guys will be able to watch your Wednesday videos and comment. If you guys disagree, if you guys think that my pick is wrong, I'll be able to see your guys' comments in there on Wednesday, and then Sunday I'll definitely be able to give you guys a shout out. Alright, so enough introductions. Let's dig into my college football playoff picks for the 2017-2018. I just did it again. Unbelievable. I just did it again. For the 2017-2018 college football season, let's get my playoff picks. So just to say something, I'm not a huge fan of the coaches poll and the preseason AP top 25. So I understand that there has to be preseason ranking, or at least some sort of idea of where we stand to start a season. But honestly, if I was doing it, I would wait until the end of week 1 to do any rankings. I mean, you have to really think about it. It's not like we need to put Alabama at number 1 to know that Alabama is going to be a talented team this season. Like, I mean, let's just be honest. We know Florida State's going to be a talented team. We know Ohio State has got a lot of talent coming into that team. We know that teams like Michigan and teams like Clemson lost a lot of players. So all that happens, and then it's like for some reason we have to stick a number on them and what we think they're at. I honestly don't think until we see a team play that we should be ranking anything. This is just a small rant. I don't know if you guys don't agree, let me know down below. I just think that until you see a team play first week, until you see what they're really capable of, really I don't see a point in any rankings. So, but to say that, we're leading off with my college football playoff picks, my way too early, completely disagree with this, college football playoff picks. So, starting out at number 1, of course, I'm going to have Alabama. Now, saying that, Okay, let me just read a couple statistics here about Alabama coming into the season. They sport 9 of the 100 of the Sports Illustrated top 100 players in college football, including Jalen Hurts, Calvin Ridley, Bo Scarborough, a host of other players as well, but 9 of the top 100 in one team. Alabama has a tough game week 1 with Florida State. This goes right back to what I was just talking about as far as ranking a team before the beginning of a season. Because think about this. Alabama comes in, number 1, right? Let's just say they were to drop the ball and lose to Florida State week 1. Where do you put a one-loss Alabama, a very talented one-loss Alabama, in the AP poll? Where do you place them? I want to hear from you guys. I want you guys to comment down below. Tell me if Alabama loses to Florida State, and I'm not talking like a blowout, because I don't think that's even possible for Florida State to blow out Alabama. And I'm not saying that by Florida State not having enough talent. I just think that these are two really talented teams coming, at each other week 1. I think it's going to be a tighter game than most people think. But let's say Alabama were to lose that game. Where do you put them? I mean, if I had to place them with all the other teams, with all the other talent out there this season, and you're talking about a top 10, a coach's poll top 10 that has 4 Big Ten teams in the top 10. And do you put a one-loss Alabama ahead of a 1-win Wisconsin or a 1-win Michigan or something like that? So do you think an Alabama with 1 loss right at the beginning of the season would fall out of the top 10? I guess that's my question. Is it possible? Do you do that to Alabama losing week 1? Or because of Florida State being such a talented team, do you keep them in the top 5? And you shun maybe some of these other teams that maybe don't have the pedigree, if you will, of Alabama, and keep them out of the top 5 or from moving up just because of the strength of the team that they played. And this all plays into, like I said, about these preseason rankings and how I really don't think until week 1 is over we should even have a ranking system. But neither here nor there. I have number 1 as Alabama as my number 1 playoff pick. Number 2, I have the winner of the Penn State and Ohio State game. So Penn State, ending last season, a tough loss to USC after winning the Big Ten and Ohio State taking the spot in the college football playoff. It missed a little bit of controversy about that. Still, Ohio State gets the nod for the playoffs, and Penn State, although winning the Big Ten, goes to play USC in the Rose Bowl. So that game, Penn State losing that game, really didn't do much in favor of showing Penn State's true strength. They are a program who I can't think of a more deserving program to have this kind of comeback and this resurgence. That fan base is an incredible fan base. I got nothing but good things to say about Penn State fans and Penn State as a team. Joe Paterno being a storied coach. I mean, the history of that program speaks for itself. But Ohio State, Penn State, whoever wins that game is my pick at my number 2 pick, and also my pick to win the Big Ten. It is a loaded Big Ten this year. Some may even say inflated, and I have some may even say that the Big Ten is replacing the SEC in the overrated category. And I honestly, seeing 4 of the top 10 teams being Big Ten teams, I can see how that would be definitely to some people their belief. So moving on to my number 3 pick. My number 3 pick is not an easy one because most people have Florida State in their playoff picks. And what I find hard to believe about that is in the same breath that people have Florida State picked to be in the playoffs, they also have Alabama picked to win that Florida State game. So what that says to me is that people think that even if Florida State were to lose to Alabama week 1, that they are going to win out their schedule, which includes Miami, trip to Louisville. You've got a loaded, senior loaded NC State team and Clemson at the end of the season. And they think if they were to lose to Alabama that they are going to win every other game the rest of the season and still make it to the playoff. I don't see that. I don't see that schedule working out in Florida State's favor. I see potentially 2 more losses on that schedule. And not to maybe the teams that you would expect. I see a trip up at NC State with NC State, and I see a trip up with Clemson, and that is why it leads me to say that Clemson will be my number 3 pick in my playoff picks this season. Clemson has the more favorable schedule. They don't have that week 1 matchup with Alabama, which is a doozy, and I see it just being a lot more favorable for Clemson to go the distance in Florida State. So saying that, I have Clemson in my picks as ACC champion and as my number 3 playoff pick, and which leads me to my number 4 pick, which would be USC. So a lot of people aren't on the hype train for USC this season, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's one name to look out for, and Heisman candidate, and a player that can lead a team to a playoff, and that is quarterback Sam Darnold. I talked about him last season, okay, on Authenticated. I think the very first episode I had last season, I talked about Sam Darnold, and they were switching it up and starting him that week. Since that game, he has shown to be one of the more pinpoint accurate quarterbacks in all of college football. I mean, it's truly impressive if you watch him play. A team that could rally around a quarterback like that in a Pac-12 that is maybe not as star-studded and packed this season as other seasons, maybe. But schedule-wise, outside of playing Washington in a Pac-12 championship, I see USC being Pac-12 champion and making it number 4 into my playoff picks. So we will definitely dig more into playoffs, this, that, and the other, the closer we get, maybe on down in the season. Those may be completely wrong. I may be completely off. So, but just to get you guys a little teaser, a taste, if you will, of what I'm thinking about this season, those are my top 4 teams in the college football playoff. So just to get that out of the way. I actually want to take a second and introduce you guys to actually a new interactive part of the channel that I'm going to start this year. So next door to where I work, there's a small men's grooming and accessories shop called Woolly Booger, and basically what they want to do is they want to sponsor a part of the channel. So the way I thought would be best to do it would be to let's have something interactive for you guys. So what we're going to do this season is we're going to have on Yahoo Sports a Woolly Booger League for top 25 picks. So the way it's going to work is right here somewhere in just a second, I'll have a screenshot of where you guys can log in and all the details down in the description. So what you guys are going to be able to do is log in and create an account and be able to pick the top 25 picks every week just like I do. I'm already signed up, so my name is Authenticated CFB. So when you guys sign up, you guys will be able to see my picks as well as I'll be able to see yours, and we'll be able to compete back and forth each week. If we get enough members, I'm thinking around the 30 to 40, 50 member range, we're going to be able to do weekly prizes. So that'll be kind of cool for you guys. On top of just being able to see your picks and compete against me, you'll actually also be able to, earn prizes, and it'll be different stuff every week from Woolly Booger. As well as at the end of the season, we're going to have a group gift, or a grouped, like a prize for you guys. So the person with the best record, of course, outside of me, if I'm number 1 or if you're number 1 or whoever is, whoever has the best record at the end of the season is going to get a big group gift sponsored by Vapor Planet and by Woolly Booger. So that'd be really cool. So we're going to have some really cool prizes for you guys and for the winner of the Pick'em League. So like I said, guys, just share the video if you can. That's pretty much all I have for you today. On Monday, the AP Top 25 comes out, so I will be making another video then, just maybe doing some comparos between the coaches poll and the AP Top 25. But other than that, that's it for Authenticated. Thank you guys for watching.